Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be reacting to the 2K26 roadmap stream that 2K is actually currently still doing here. Just talking about 2K26 because they already revealed the stuff that I'm interested about, and there are a couple of very interesting changes that they revealed even here in this first 28 minutes of streaming that they've done. I mean, they already talked about my team, they already talked about gameplay, and so there are some interesting changes, and I'll just say this, it sounds like they might be listening a little bit. I'll just put it that way. I hope y'all are excited. Before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. We're going to start with gameplay. Then we'll talk about my team mode specifically, which I know is what a lot of us are concerned about. There's a lot of information. Well, not a lot, but there's a little bit of information about Triple Threat Park, and King of the Court especially has getting a big rework, it seems like. But let's talk about the gameplay changes first, and we'll let Evan and Stacks talk about it. Rewarding skill-based gameplay apparently this year, whatever that means.
All right, we're gonna get right into it then. I hope everybody is paying attention, because we are going to start off with a big topic, and one that I know many in the community have shared a lot.
Make sure this is a little louder if I can.
Very hot topic.
There we go, that should be good.
Indeed. So today, what we want to share is that one of the dev team's themes was ensuring a skill-based gameplay experience where you feel more in control, and you feel that what you're doing on the sticks, on the controller, is more reflected by what you're seeing on your...
I think it's important to say that them acknowledging this almost actively acknowledges that they have been intentionally making the gameplay a bit less skill-based the last couple of years. By saying, we're going to have rewarding skill-based gameplay this year. Does that mean y'all didn't as much the last couple of years? I don't know. I kind of think they didn't, to be totally honest. Now, skill still mattered, of course, but I feel like it mattered less the last couple of years, both in Park and my team and other modes. So, I don't know. Interesting to hear them say this. There's a couple other things.
Your screen. And that is an overall theme, so you're going to feel it across shot outcomes, blocks, steals, loose balls, rebounds, and more across just how gameplay feels this year. Now, Stacks, I know we can't leave the community here with a broad theme and no details, so there are a couple things
that is no details
today, so listen closely. The first one, higher difficulties are going to play with green or miss jump shot timing.
Problem is, most of the online My Team modes, I would assume all of the online My Team modes, except for maybe King of the Court, will not have that. So that's a little, I mean, green or miss, look, I think personally that's a bit of a controversial topic, because I think there are a lot of people in the community that are fine with green or miss not being a thing, as long as there is some sort, you know what, as long as King of the Court is green or miss, and we have the option to play like tournaments on green or miss, I don't even care. If Showdown winds up not being green or miss, it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, I need to remember, and I think this is one of the things I have to remind myself sometimes, 2K is not building, and I think we all need to remember this, because at the end of the day, there are things that we each want individually with this game to improve. 2K is not building my team for JC2K. 2K is not building my team for Ty Debo or DBG or HTB or any other content creator specifically, and they're certainly not building 2K for individual people's preferences. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, look, there are things that I'd like to see changed that I don't know if they're completely reasonable. Like, I would want Showdown to be on green or miss, but I understand there are a lot of more casual My Team players who probably don't want that, and I'm fine with that. So if they don't change that, that's cool. I like the fact that we're at least going to have a little bit more skill-based aspects to shooting. Is there anything else they actually gave us though on this aspect? Because I want to remember.
Higher difficulties, that includes most competitive multiplayer modes that many of you all play. So in those modes, you're not going to see early or late releases going in on those difficulties, which I think is a very welcome.
I hope I do kind of hope that includes Showdown, at least a couple of the My Team modes. It'll be interesting to see if they specify which modes are which, or if we're just left to figure it out.
News to many of you. Second thing, the shot meters and the dunk meters are both going to show you your green windows in 2K26.
I'll be totally honest, I don't think that matters. I don't think that has anything to do with skill-based gameplay. That's almost filler. It's a visual thing, and it's nice, and I think people who use the meter, so I use the dunk meter, I think that will be fine, right? But I don't know. That isn't actually information about something truly new. They're just bringing back a feature to the shot meter that has been in the game almost every year. But I'm sure there are people who are happy about that. So, okay, let's hear what else they got to
That was a
say.
point of feedback that came up a lot, and even as the year went on, I kept seeing that many weren't getting used to the new 2K25
Oh, that's a
shot
dramatic
meters,
shift to the music.
especially slashers. gave that feedback a lot. So in 2K26, the meters are going to have the green windows again. One more thing here. Layup timing is going to be permanently enabled in multiplayer mode.
That's a good change. Layup timing permanently enabled in multiplayer modes. No more real player percentage. That's a W. This is the last thing they said about gameplay. And I think it's a good thing to say about gameplay. I mean, look, it's not, again, this is not a earth-shattering change. I would say there are the only quote-unquote earth-shattering change at all from these 3 notes that they said about gameplay is the fact that it's going to be green or miss on a lot of the higher difficulty levels, which I think is good. I don't think, again, that's not new. They've done that before, but I hope that it's true across the mode, across the board. That'd be nice. This, I mean, look, real player percentage for layups was annoying this year, especially early in the year. I'm for it. I think it's a good change. I don't think it's a ridiculous change. I'll be totally honest. I think for a good player, layup timing this year was actually worth having on high risk. The majority of the time, I think that was actually a little bit more rewarding. So I will say that is something you do have to keep in mind, but I mean, look, I don't mind this. I think it will hopefully add a little bit more of a skill-based element to finishing. It's still not going to add that much of one, though, I don't think. They already have high risk anyway, so.
Real player percentage layups go over you anymore with someone that's just tapping a button.
So are they taking out the shot feedback profiles entirely, like being able to shoot either low risk, medium risk, or high risk, or whatever it is, like normal risk, high risk, whatever? I wonder if they're taking that out or not. That's what I'd be interested to know, to be honest.
All the layups need to be timed in those modes. But those of you who are newer to the game, we do want to clarify that you shouldn't think that you aren't going to be able to make a layup anymore. Because this is not meant to make it really hard.
Well, layup timing on the layups isn't actually hard.
The really good finishers from the weaker ones.
I don't think finishing ever has had a significant dramatic skill gap the way that they might be trying to portray it right now. I will say that. I think that might be a bit of an exaggerated concept. But at the same time, I mean, I'm definitely, this is them trying something a little bit different, and so I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to be like, that's this isn't a huge change, but I'm happy that it's a change nonetheless, if that makes sense.
And definitely to make sure that there's more skill involved. So those are the 3 things.
Okay, now we got my team. They did my player as well.
Green or miss shot timing.
Again, there will be other channels covering all of this stuff as well. So if you're interested in anything not my team or gameplay related that they talk about in the stream, more power to you. Just go ahead and go watch those content creators, because I'm not going to go through and talk about my player and my career and my NBA in the city, just because those are not the game modes that I make content on. So let's go ahead and find the aspect here about my team, which is going to be right in here. Perfect. All right, let's get into the my team news. Talk about what they got here for us.
Be the full my player builder review. With that being said,
which, by the way, my player reveal week of August 4th, gameplay reveal is week of July 28th. So we don't know exactly what day that'll be yet. But week of July 28th for gameplay, week of August 4th for my player and my team.
My team. So all of my team fans, lock in.
I think it was August 11th.
Out with Triple Threat Arc. What do we have going on there?
Yep, August 11th is when we'll be getting my team news. So a couple weeks before the game mode comes out.
Well, Triple Threat Park is back. It has been a very fun first year in 2K25. And look, I know Park is not something many my team players are used to.
That's basically them saying, we know y'all didn't really want this.
But as the year has gone on, I've seen a lot of streams where people are squatting up with some friends, and they're really having fun in the park.
But the aspect of Park that I think people are annoyed about is not that people love. I enjoy being, I don't play a lot of Park, but I enjoy being able to play with my buddies. I totally get that. The part that people don't like about Park is the lack of instant matchmaking.
And even if you don't play my team, let's say you're a my career player, you spend all year running the same 4 or 5 builds. If you jump into Triple Threat Park right now, there are so many my team cards you can
He's right.
get.
Park is a much more accessible mode for people from other game modes to come play with their friends. It absolutely is. I mean, you need 3 cards or 1 card. Like, it's more accessible than Showdown and King of the Court and things like that are to people.
And you only need 1 if you're playing co-op, and then it's basically like playing Park with NBA players. So,
it's true.
I even saw someone last week. They've hit level 40 almost every season in my career, and they posted how they realized that they've also earned a ton of powerful my team cards at the same time without even knowing it. So because of that, they were kind of able to jump into park right away with some my team friends.
I
But
think
anyways, that is enough.
I think that's a valid point, and I think that's cool, but they're not really giving us in. Are we gonna get? I don't know.
About 2K25. That's just my view on Triple Threat Park, or 2K26, which is what you guys want to know about.
Thank you.
When we do get to the full My Team reveal, there's a couple things you can look forward to us talking about. First, there is a new location for the Triple Threat Park. So the rooftop
That's a lot of nothing. They didn't give us anything. Okay, so there's a new location. And
has been awesome, but we do have a different vibe this year to keep things fresh.
I'm sure people care about that. I don't, honestly. The visual doesn't really matter that much to me, as long as it's
There
not
are
hideous.
also new ways to play with or against other people in the park. So
New ways to play with or against people in the park. What does that mean?
squad up with your +1, play new formats that I'm not going to spoil today.
Squad up with your +1 sounds like you can just play twos. And new formats. That sounds like My Team Rec. We're getting 5v5 My Team Rec, Evan? Please? I hope so. Definitely, I will say, this is that's good. New formats, new whatever that means. That sounds promising.
But I will say I have seen them be requested often.
So there's probably twos. He says he has seen them be requested often by the communities. That sounds like 2s and 5s. That's what that sounds like to me.
So, little hint for you there. Lastly, in the park, there have been changes to rewarding with community feedback in mind so that you can earn even more rewards throughout the Triple Threat Park.
What does that mean?
But we're also going to share more on that in a couple weeks.
Okay, there's going to be more. They've made changes to rewards to make it more rewarding. That's an arbitrary statement that doesn't really mean anything as of right now, to be totally honest. Not that, like, I'm not going to sit here and get mad about that, but that doesn't actually mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a sentence that actually holds any weight. There's been changes and now it's better. That's an arbitrary statement, a subjective opinion, I guess. So I don't know. Hopefully that's true, but the fact that we didn't get very much information on it is a little concerning. But August 11th, I guess we'll find out, or that week we'll find out, I guess.
All right, perfect. Sounds great. Next up for my team, we also have King of the Court presented by AT&T. Let's lock in.
Present.
I know a lot of
They got a sponsor for King of the Court. Hey, that means there's some money attached. I'm cool with it.
We're excited for this one, so let's hear what we got.
Let's hear what we got.
Yes,
I'm for
My
it.
team players, I want you to pay attention to this one because I know you're going to like it. But there's two things here to cover. One of the biggest points of my team feedback that we've heard this past year is how King of the Court was only for a few hours on Saturdays. So if you were out of the house, maybe you work on Saturday,
Yes,
or maybe
this
you
is for
live in
sure.
a different time zone where those 4 hours were in the middle of the night for you, and you probably couldn't consistently participate, right?
Yeah.
We get that. So in 2K26, the dev team has worked on making King of the Court more accessible. Now it is going to take place across the entire weekend to give you more opportunity to play.
It's a good start. I mean, that was a must change thing. That was one of the things that I absolutely was like, needs to change. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not in a good time slot right now, and it's not convenient for people at all, and people aren't playing the game because of it. And I think this is a good change. It's an absolutely needed change. So good start.
But the other thing about King of the Court is a very, very big one.
This is a
In
big one.
addition to competing for
This
big
is the
amounts
biggest one of all the
VC,
news, honestly.
the winner across PlayStation 5 and Xbox each weekend is also going to be competing for a cash prize of $10,000.
$10,000. It says that the winner will be competing for that cash prize, not that the winner automatically gets that cash prize or anything like that. What does that mean, and how hard is that cash prize to get? Is there going to be other ways to get that cash prize? Like, there are definitely a couple of immediate attached questions that I personally have. But that is a great news. That's great news. That is a great sign. That is very encouraging, if nothing else, that there is definitely some listening being going on here. Might be why they're partnering with AT&T, is because a sponsor gives them the ability to have more money from AT&T, so they're not spending their own money. I mean, you know what? If it's a sponsorship, I don't care. As long as there's money involved in competitive My Team again, I think that is good for the game. And I'm not somebody who, I don't think at this point in my life, is probably going to be competing in competitive My Team particularly seriously. I mean, I'm not likely to benefit from this, is kind of my point. I may try, but realistically, at this point in my life and my 2K career, I'm probably not going to quite put in the dedication, the time into being the best. And so that doesn't probably appeal to me personally, but it's good for the game mode as a whole to have that built into it, cash prizes and things like that. And it's going to be, I mean, it's really cool for a lot of people.
So we are going to share more
And
details
it's good for the
about all of
community
that,
too. More money
but in
means more
short,
viewership because
there
people are going to be
will
more
be a
interested.
cash prize for King of the Court winners in my team on the weekends. I am very, very excited for this. I hope our competitive community feels similarly. You know, even now, very often I'll come across like a My Team YouTube channel or social account or something, and they still have like NBA 2K23, 2K 250K
I have a feeling that Evan's been watching my videos.
qualifier, something like that in their bio. So I am hoping to see some great streams, some great videos on the weekends from the King of the Court this year.
Man,
You know what? Make it able to be played all weekend. A lot more people are going to play it. Add cash prizes. A lot more people are going to take it seriously. That's good. I mean, I don't have anything else to say right now, honestly. That is good. That's kind of what I was asking for. Give us a reason to play and make it more accessible to be played. They kind of did both of those things. Good job. I think there you go. I'll give them that. That's a good start.
Huge shout out to AT&T
On that aspect anyway for King of the Court.
Bringing the heat for NBA 2K26.
Yeah, definitely
Really
AT&T though. You could
appreciate
tell. You could absolutely tell that they're doing this because of AT&T. They're doing this because because of AT&T sponsoring. It's pretty much the only reason we're getting this. But I'm happy with it regardless. So
It is time to move on. Just remember, the full My Team reveal will be the week of August 11th. So if you're a My Team fan, you're looking to hear more.
all right, so that's all the news we got on My Team and gameplay. A little bit of a long-winded video here, but a couple of meaningful changes coming to both of those things. Especially, I mean, the King of the Court changes sound really encouraging to me. It sounds like there has at least been a certain amount of attention paid to community feedback. I'm not certain it's going to be world-shaking levels of attention, but I think it's at least something that can be, you know, there looks to be improvements is what I will say, and at its core, that is encouraging to me. So I will give 2K that it does seem like there is some sort of growth happening. At least I don't know. I'm looking forward to 2K26. I'm hoping for a good game. I'm not really expecting a good game, but if we get a great game, I will be very excited with it, and I hope we'll see what happens, man. This is at least an encouraging start. Doesn't sound like we're gonna be getting any more My Team news here for a while, but we'll be getting some gameplay news shortly here in the next about week and a half. So that'll be nice to get, and we'll definitely be talking about that. That being said, it's gonna do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.